All right, here we go. So we're going to start working on their jet sequence. This is the final result right here. And this might look really intimidating, but we've really covered most everything that we need to be able to perform this. We're going to be doing a sequence, so that'll be something new. But from a technical perspective, we've covered most everything thus far. So for now, it's really just going to be about technique and developing a good eye for animation. And that might take a really long time. I'm going to walk you guys through on some techniques for this specific sequence. Some tips moving forward. Before you jump into here, what I would do is I would finish part 1, part 2, the bouncing ball, the box animation. Do those a couple different times. Go back through, click through the screenshots, blast through them, get some good practice in, and then you'll be ready for this. This is the first shot we're going to start building on, working on, and we have a couple different things that we need to start doing. First up, we're going to build out the environment map and just get the render settings going. So we're going to integrate the environment as we animate as well. So we'll have a backplate. So the backplate looks like something like this. We're going to use a couple different ones. So we'll basically animate to a backdrop. And then we'll first start by setting up the environment. So I'm in a fresh scene here. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of my default cube and then go ahead and import our jet asset. So inside of our starter kit, we're going to have jet version 1. OBJ, we'll just go ahead and import that. So we'll go ahead and get the environment set up and ready to go. So go ahead and do that. I'll just jump into my rendered mode right here. And we'll go ahead and jump into our environment map. We'll throw down an environment. So we'll leave the surface on background right here. We'll jump into color and we'll do environment texture. And then I have a couple of HDRIs that are going to also be in the starter kit. So driving school 4K. I'm going to go ahead and grab the 4K if you're on a slower computer. I would grab the 2K. And there we go. So we're already in the sky. We're going to get some basic render properties set up. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my render settings here, turn on ambient occlusion. We'll do distance, something like 2. Factor, something like 2. We'll do bloom. That's going to get us this nice light wrapping effect if you want to see this without the grid right here. So we can see what this looks like a little bit better. So immediately right off the bat, you can, just by looking under this jet, it's already at a point where it's pretty believable. I'm going to go ahead and turn on screen space reflections as well. And then we'll go ahead and get our materials set up. So we'll go ahead and jump into shading mode. I'll go ahead and make sure my rendered mode is on currently up here. And I'll go ahead and select this. And then there's a ton of different materials that are already attached to this. We'll just go to our material properties right here. And essentially we can just set up these right here. So we got the body, which is what this shader is going to be. So we'll go ahead and crank up the metallic on this. And then we'll bring roughness down to something like 0.5, just so we have some sort of like metallic feel going. And then from there we have our glass. The only things we need tweaking here, I'm just going to bring roughness all the way down. And then we'll go ahead and just for play blast purposes, so we can view this quickly, we'll go ahead and just go down our alpha a little bit. We're not going to see it at all right now because we need to go to our material properties over here and send blending mode to alpha blend. So now we'll start to see through that. Not too bad. Next up, we have our trim, which will simply go in here. Our trim is going to be right here. We'll just simply do roughness all the way down, metallic all the way up to make those nice and shiny. Looking good. And then we have missiles next. From here, we're going to do the same thing as our exterior right here. So we'll just do metallic all the way up, roughness, something like 0.5. And maybe I'll just go a little bit darker on this, just to make them pop out a little bit more. So that should be a pretty good start. And we'll start integrating the backdrop next.